Hi everyone! In recent weeks, many TikTok refugees have had very positive experiences on RedNote. They've also discovered the story of Li Hua's letters. This has sparked a trend of learning Mandarin in many countries. As an overseas Chinese living in Europe, I totally support this trend. But learning Mandarin can be hard. That's why I'm making this video. In this video, I share my personal story and show you how learning 3 foreign languages completely changed my life. I hope this video will help Mandarin learners stay motivated and never give up. Let's first rewind the clock to 1977, when I was born in a small village in southern China. At that time, China was much like North Korea today. The country was poor and isolated from the Western world. But I was lucky because just 1 year after I was born, China began reforming its economy and gradually opening up to the outside world. Around that time, China also started improving its education system. This gave many children of my generation a chance to attend school. Like many other children in China, I started learning English when I entered junior high school. It quickly became my favorite subject because I was really curious about the world outside China. But learning English in China back then wasn't easy. We didn't have internet or computers, so it was very difficult to get English TV programs or films. How did I overcome this obstacle, you might ask? Well, for that, I'm really grateful to my parents. My parents didn't have a high income, but when they saw how eager I was to learn English, they spent a good portion of their savings to buy me a radio cassette player. It was the best gift I had ever received. With this device, I could listen to shortwave English radio programs from many countries. I could also record them and play them back again and again whenever I needed. Did I understand everything? No, my vocabulary was far too limited at the time, but I kept listening almost every day after school. Over time, I got used to English pronunciation and intonation. I also became familiar with the normal speed of spoken English. That really made a huge difference. When I finished high school and took the National College Entrance Exam, I nearly scored full marks on the written English test. In the listening and oral exam, I ranked first in my province. I was really happy that years of hard work finally paid off. My test scores earned me a spot at a very good university in Beijing, where I could study English as my major. While I was studying English in Beijing, 2 unexpected things happened, and they both changed my life. The first was that although my major was English, I somehow became very interested in the Korean language. The Korean script looks somewhat similar to Chinese characters. I really wanted to find out why. So out of pure curiosity, I signed up for an evening Korean class and began learning it in my free time. At the time, I had no idea how useful it would be. But looking back, learning Korean was one of the best decisions I ever made. I'll tell you why in a moment. But for now, let me continue explaining what else happened that changed my life. Another pleasant surprise was that towards the end of my second year at university, there was funding available for 1 English major to study Dutch in the Netherlands. When I heard about it, I applied immediately. Back then, I didn't know much about the Netherlands, but the idea of finally leaving China to explore the world made me really excited. I was lucky to be selected, and that opened a whole new chapter in my life. Thanks to this opportunity, I learned Dutch fairly quickly. It eventually allowed me to study Dutch law and become a qualified Dutch lawyer. So I guess it's not an exaggeration to say that learning English and Dutch completely changed the course of my life. But what about Korean? Well, learning Korean helped me find the best spouse I could ever dream of. My wife is Korean. I first met her at a business event in the Netherlands. When I found out that she came from Korea, I immediately started speaking to her in Korean. She was so impressed. Of course, we could have spoken in Dutch or English since she's fluent in both, but speaking in Korean in her native language really brought us closer instantly. So I guess there's really something special about communicating with people in their native tongue. That makes a huge difference. Now my wife and I have been living together happily for 20 years and we have 2 beautiful daughters who speak Dutch, English, Korean and Chinese. Looking back, I feel so grateful to have learned 3 foreign languages. It wasn't easy, but they've made my life so much richer and happier. So if you are learning Mandarin or thinking about it, go for it. If you keep learning, beautiful things can happen. Maybe you'll find a new job, start a new business, make lifelong friends, or even meet the love of your life. So no matter how hard it is to learn Mandarin, don't give up. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.